What really happened last night shocked football fans around the world. Once again, the referee, VAR, and FIFA found themselves at the center of a huge controversy after a decision that left an entire nation feeling disappointed and angry. Belgium walked away believing they were denied a crucial opportunity, while Spain celebrated another dramatic victory that sent them into the next stage of the tournament. For many fans, it looked like another example of a powerful football nation getting the important decisions in their favor, while the underdog was left fighting for answers. Belgium wanted a penalty after the ball appeared to hit Rodri's arm inside Spain's penalty area. The referee immediately waved away the appeals, and after a VAR review, the decision remained unchanged. But this was not just another ordinary refereeing debate. This moment happened during a World Cup already filled with controversy, complaints, and questions about fairness. However, the handball decision was only one part of a much bigger story. Behind the final score was a dramatic battle filled with injuries, unexpected heroes, missed opportunities, and a late twist that completely changed Belgium's destiny. Spain entered this quarterfinal as one of the strongest teams in the tournament. They arrived with a 36-match unbeaten streak and were just one game away from matching Italy's historic record. From the beginning, Spain showed why they were considered one of the favorites. They controlled possession, dominated the midfield, and forced Belgium to spend most of the match defending. With 68% possession and constant pressure, Spain looked like the team destined to win. But football is never decided only by statistics. Sometimes one moment, one mistake, or one controversial decision can completely change the story. And that is exactly what happened in this unforgettable World Cup night. Spain's dominance finally produced a reward when Fabian Ruiz gave them the lead after a brilliant attacking move. Before the match, Spain's manager Luis de la Fuente made a surprising decision by leaving the talented Pedri on the bench and trusting Ruiz from the start. That decision immediately looked like a masterstroke when Ruiz reacted quickest after Dani Olmo's shot was saved and calmly finished the rebound. Spain were ahead, and everything seemed to be going according to plan. Their passing was smooth, their midfield looked comfortable, and Belgium appeared to be struggling to escape Spain's pressure. But hidden beneath Spain's control was a weakness that had followed them throughout the tournament. Despite dominating possession and controlling matches, Spain had not been as dangerous in front of goal as many expected. They could keep the ball for long periods, move opponents around, and create beautiful passing sequences, but turning that control into goals had sometimes been a problem. That weakness became obvious when Belgium found their biggest moment of the match. Just before halftime, Kevin De Bruyne created a brilliant opportunity with a perfectly timed pass, and Charles de Ketelaere delivered a powerful header that finally broke Spain's incredible defensive record. It was not just a normal goal. It was the first time Spain had conceded in the entire tournament. Before that moment, they had completed 650 minutes without allowing an opponent to score. They had produced 5 consecutive clean sheets against teams like Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, Austria, and Portugal. Their defense looked almost impossible to break. But Belgium, even while struggling, found the one moment they needed. They entered halftime level at 1-1, and suddenly the entire match changed. For Belgium, that equalizer represented hope. But behind the scenes, their problems were only beginning. They had already entered the quarterfinal carrying injuries and missing important players. Their dream of reaching the semi-final was about to become even more difficult as the night continued. Belgium's situation became more painful as the match continued because they were already fighting against problems before the first whistle. Their squad had suffered several major setbacks, and those problems started affecting them at the worst possible time. In the previous round, Belgium lost Amadou Onana because of a knee injury during their 4-1 victory over the United States. Onana was one of their most important midfield players, and losing him left a huge gap in the center of the pitch. But the bad luck did not stop there. Just 1 hour before kickoff, Belgium received another shocking blow. Yuri Tielemans, another key midfielder, suffered an injury during the warm-up. A simple movement while reaching for the ball caused a hamstring problem, forcing Belgium's coaching staff to make unexpected changes before the match even started. So Belgium entered one of the biggest games in their tournament without 2 important parts of their midfield. Then came the moment that changed everything. Thibaut Courtois, one of the best goalkeepers in world football, started struggling with a physical issue. Before the match, Spain's manager had praised him as one of the top goalkeepers on the planet. Everyone knew how important Courtois was for Belgium's chances of survival. He tried to continue. He tried to fight through the pain. But eventually, after the hydration break in the second half, Courtois could no longer stay on the pitch. The image was difficult for football fans to watch. The experienced goalkeeper slowly walked toward the sideline, clearly frustrated and emotional. He knew what everyone watching knew. Belgium had just lost their biggest defensive weapon. And the problems continued when Kevin De Bruyne was also forced to leave the field because of cramps. Suddenly, Belgium were not only battling Spain. They were battling injuries, exhaustion, and the cruel reality of tournament football. Then came the dramatic moment that decided their fate. A substitute goalkeeper entered the match, and one mistake in the final minutes created the opening Spain needed. Football can be unbelievably cruel, and Belgium discovered that in the most painful way possible. The decisive moment arrived in the 88th minute, and it was a moment Belgium will remember for a very long time. Pau Cubarsí, a defender, tried his luck from outside the box with a shot that did not look particularly dangerous. It was the type of effort that most top-level goalkeepers would normally collect without any serious trouble. But this time, the ball slipped away. Sen Lamens, who had come on after Courtois' injury, could not hold onto the shot. The ball bounced back into a dangerous area, and suddenly Spain had the opportunity they were waiting for. Standing in the perfect position was Mikel Merino. The substitute midfielder reacted instantly, controlling the situation and smashing the rebound into the back of the net. Spain 2, Belgium 1. In one moment, Belgium's hopes of reaching the semi-final disappeared. But this goal also revealed one of Spain's biggest strengths during this tournament. Their success has not only come from the players everyone expected to shine. Instead, their substitutes have repeatedly become the difference makers. Merino had already shown this ability earlier in the competition. In the previous round, he came from the bench and scored the winning goal against Portugal. Once again, he entered the game and delivered when Spain needed him most. This has become a pattern for Spain. Their starting lineup may receive the attention, but their bench has provided crucial moments throughout their World Cup journey. Spain did not win this match because of a spectacular individual performance or a moment of unbelievable skill. They simply stayed alive, waited for their opportunity, and punished Belgium when the chance arrived. For Belgium, it was heartbreaking. They fought through injuries. They broke Spain's defensive record. They stayed competitive against one of the tournament favorites. But one mistake and one late goal ended their dream. And while everyone continued discussing the controversial handball decision, another major question started surrounding Spain. Can they continue winning if their biggest superstar is still waiting to explode? Because in this World Cup, the biggest names have been delivering, and Spain's biggest young talent has not yet shown his best version. Lamine Yamal entered this World Cup carrying enormous expectations. At just 18 years old, he was seen as one of the most exciting young talents in world football. After producing incredible performances for Barcelona, many fans believed this tournament could become the stage where he announced himself as the next global superstar. But so far, his World Cup journey has been much quieter than expected. Yamal's only goal of the tournament came during Spain's comfortable victory over Saudi Arabia in the group stage. Since that moment, he has struggled to produce the kind of magical performances that made the world fall in love with his talent. For matches passed without a goal or an assist, the player many expected to create unforgettable moments was still searching for his breakthrough. Against Belgium, Yamal had chances but could not completely take control of the match. He managed shots on target, but the dominant performance everyone was waiting for never arrived. And yet, despite that, he still received the Man of the Match award. That decision created another debate among fans. Some believed it showed how highly Yamal is valued, while others felt it showed that the match lacked a true standout performer. However, there is important context behind his struggles. Yamal arrived at the tournament after dealing with a difficult injury situation. He suffered a hamstring problem while playing for Barcelona and had to race against time to recover before the World Cup. Because of that, Many believe he may not be operating at his absolute best physically. But the teenager does not appear worried. When questioned about the pressure and the lack of goals, Yamal responded with confidence. He explained that if Spain win the World Cup, nobody will remember how many goals he personally scored. And there is some truth behind that statement. Football history remembers trophies, victories, and unforgettable moments. But against France, Spain will need more than confidence. They will need their young star to finally show why the entire football world believes he can become special.